Alright, here we are. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. How's everybody doing? We are here today for the NASCAR Cup Series race, the Firekeepers Casino 400 from the Michigan International Speedway. Engines have just fired up and we will be getting ready to go. So welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So there we go.
U.S. General from Harbor Freight provide.
Bump my volume on my phone. There we go. Again, we are chilling out here. We're getting ready for this race. Feel free to let me know who you guys got as your race win pick. I mean, the ultra bias in me wants to go with Kyle Busch, considering the fact that he's looked so good for so long. And in fact, last year, last year in this race, he was the runner-up, and he starts in the second position today. Alright, so there we go. Welcome on in. Hey, Taterhead, how's it going? Granny for... What, is there a typo, or is it just about the fact that casinos are for grandmothers? Because, I don't know, I know quite a few young people who go to there, so... Go to casinos, so... Who knows? But, yep, so here we are. We are ready for this one. We got Briscoe on the pole position. Kyle Busch will be starting second, third, and fourth. This is where we find Denny Hamlin, William Byron. Kyle Larson in car number 5 rounds out spot number 5. 6th is Busher. 7th is going to be Josh Berry, who won the who won at Las Vegas earlier this year. We got Ty Gibbs still looking for his first career win. Bubba Wallace with a good top 10 starting position. And Zane Smith. Good job on Zane Smith qualifying up inside the top 10. And I say, 9 of the last 10 races here at Michigan have been won by Ford. So it is definitely going to be everybody versus the Fords. Although in terms of qualifying, only 3 Fords in the top 10 and none of them inside the top 5. Which again is a little shocking. There we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Also, let me know if the audio levels are all good, because I have been messing around with some settings, and we will be hopefully in the new studio for next week. I was super excited because I thought we were going to get the TV up yesterday and be able to be there for last night's Red Sox game with my dad, but ultimately the thing didn't get up, so we are still up here in the office for the time being, but we should be able to be down there for next week. So, hopefully. There we go. Again, we got this race and 2 more left on Amazon Prime, so should be a good race here, hopefully. Yeah, Amazon Prime has done a very good job, so we got Michigan this week, then we head down to Mexico, then back up to Pocono. So there we go. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we are chilling out here. They are still at commercial break. Oh, just coming back from it, and we got cars rolling. Let's go. Alright, cars ready to roll on track. Oh, we got a putty cat. You want up, Gizzy? Here we go. Putty tat. There we go. But yeah, welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let's get this recentered, because we went through all that to recenter it, and then Only had time to do one pick because I forgot the pick. Oh, you're talking about race picks. Oh, that. Yeah, I got my lineup done the other day because there was some real conversation that this race could get moved earlier. Ultimately, it was not moved till earlier, so we are good to go. But there we go. You know, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. So, they're going to be rolling around here for a bit. They'll be going down doing their pass through on pit road. But yeah, so it should be a good one. Hopefully your one pick was a good pick. Not to mention, hopefully you didn't use any part-timers last week, so that at least you have some picks from last week in. Might not be the best people for it, but some people are better than no people. Alright, so there we go. They're going through the starting grid here as we're getting ready for this one. Welcome on in. We got 11 people hanging out in chat. Thank you for everybody that's decided to sign up for your very valuable Sunday here. As again, we will be heading down to the, we'll be heading down to, well, not we, but NASCAR will be heading down to Mexico next week for the Mexico Grand Prix. Yeah, in Mexico City. I don't know what the race name is going to end up being. Then we head to Pocono after that. Meow. Wow. These are not thick pants, Gizzy. Alright, so there we go. Okay, you did your fantasy with them. Forgot to look at the featured matchups. Yep. Okay, can you please keep your claws out of my legs? Right. Ow. Gizmo. Alright, so there we go. And they're continuing to look through this one. We got both Legacy Motor Club cars sharing row 11. That's interesting. I will say this field definitely feels a lot more top heavy. I feel like your qualifications are a lot closer to where we're going to see them run. Although Christopher Bell back in row 13 is going to be an interesting one from that far back. Yeah, one of the 4 featured matchups. Yep. There we go. Noah Gregson coming from the from row 15 alongside Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who will have to come from pretty deep in the field after his first DNF of the season last week. And I say, with all the conversation around Stenhouse versus Hocevar, I still look at that replay and struggle to really see what Hocevar did that was so terrible. I mean, I still see it, and this is coming from someone who's wearing a Stenhouse jersey, as I still see it as Stenhouse was making a very late, very aggressive chop, and it just didn't work out for him. So, I mean, maybe somebody else sees something different, but ow! Okay, Gizmo. Ow. Hey, Rebecca, how's it going? When's the grand opening? It was supposed to be yesterday for the new studio, but the TV was not up on the wall. My dad and we were going to do the Red Sox game last night, but yeah, again, right now we're hoping for next weekend with the Mexico race. I don't know if we'll end up doing a video down there or not this week, but yeah, it's so close. We got all the tech and everything's ready. It's just getting the TV up on the wall that we need to be able to move down there. There we go. Stage 1, 45 laps. Stage 2 will go, 75 laps, and then the final 80 laps to the checkers. Alright, so there we go. They're finishing their pass through on pit road, and we will be getting ready for this one. So welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time again. 45 laps for this first stage feels very short, but then you've got two fairly long stages after it, so we'll have to be getting ready for this one. Hopefully you guys are excited. Again, I know I am. Lights are off on the pace car. We will be going green next time by. Kyle Busch will get the inside line as Briscoe is elected to start in the outside line. Outside line here at Michigan can definitely provide some good runs, but sometimes, especially for that first initial lap, you do want that bottom lane. So I'll be curious to see which lane prevails here today, as they're getting doubled up, ready to go back racing. Alright, here we go. Again, we got Busher up there on the side of the top six as well. So we got 200 cars, 2 Gibbs cars, a Roush car, and an RCR car here. As the pace car is off, leaving the field in the hands of Briscoe and Kyle Busch. As we get ready to go, green flag is out. We are racing here at Michigan. As these cars are going to go firing off into the corner. And, already one driver popping out of line. Not sure which one that is. But, yeah, so already it looks like the 21 of Josh Berry looking to the bottom line here, trying to take this one 3 wide. As the rest of the cars start to fan out 3, maybe even 4 widened spots. Again, through these corners, this can be a lot harder to maintain 3 or even 4 wide, but... Alright, so there we go again. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So again, here we go. Bowman all the way to the bottom of the grass. He goes underneath the 2 of Austin Cindric. And I say, some big moves here. We got Joey Logano trying to look to the inside on Ty Dillon, trying to make something happen. Alright, so again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let me get the fans plugged in real quick. Get some airflow going. Alright, but yeah, so again, Briscoe, though, able to take the lead from the top line. William Byron from the second spot on the top line actually ends up filtering in as the fastest lap after 3. Alright, so there we go. But yeah, so again, right now, Byron's got this one. And now Chris Buescher looking at the inside, trying to take this one away from Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch going to drop to 5th here as, it's not been the smoothest of starts here for Kyle. Certainly always hope for a slightly cleaner start here, but... Alright, there we go. Kyle Busch battles back by Chris Buescher there. Whew. So again, Tyler Reddick all the way... What happened to Reddick? He's all the way back in 20th? Yikes. He was not that bad earlier, so he must have had something really wrong go on. Alright, so here we go again. Byron staying close to Briscoe. He might be looking for a pass to the lead here shortly. Meanwhile, they've still got this camera on the battle for 20th here between Reddick and Nina Elliott. Alright, so there we go. Oh, and Kyle Busch jumps up to the top of the board for fastest lap. Let's go. Kyle Busch turns the new fastest lap here as we're working our way through this one. First 5 laps in. going pretty good. You can't complain right now as we got Ty Dillon looking the inside here. Alright, so yeah, we're just working our way through this one. Definitely wish I'd gotten a little more sleep last night, but we are good to go. Again, Briscoe hanging on to a thin lead here over Byron. Byron continuing to try and hold him close. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch has lost the... Alright, so there we go. And right now, William Byron... As I say, Byron's looking to the bottom here. I think he really wants to try and make this pass happen. Here we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. As we cross 9 laps to go, or 9 laps into this one, 9 laps in. So far, William Byron has won 14 Cup races, including 6 straight years with a win. His only win this year so far has been Daytona, which is insane for the first time. So there we go. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Right there, the side-by-side commercial. I might go and grab some water real quick, but man. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick and we'll be right back, guys. Alright, there we go. We are here and ready for this one. Hey Dylan, how's it going? F1 racing. No, we got big old stock cars here. So here we go. We got 32 laps to go in this one. I figured out why Reddick was so far back. He had unapproved pre-race adjustments, so he was coming from the back of the field and is already up nearly 20 spots from the start of the race, which is insane. So there we go. That explains why Reddick was coming through the field so quickly. Yeah, he is coming from the back of the field, which gives a lot more credit to the fact that he's doing an amazing job running through the field. And William Byron is able to take the lead away from Chase Briscoe here as we're coming back from commercial break, and we are ready to go. All right. Again, William Byron able to make that pass on Briscoe. And now he's starting to put some distance between himself and Briscoe here. Already up to nearly half a second between the two of them. Buescher's made his way all the way to third here. Kyle Busch is now dropped outside the top 5 as Josh Berry has made the pass. So Josh Berry has put Kyle Busch back to 6th here. So Kyle Busch struggling just a bit here on the early part portion here as we're crossing the 1/3 mark in this stage. Again, 1/3 through the first stage here. There we go. Sure why my audio started playing there, but there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. No Gizzy. Nope. Maybe if you didn't dig the crap out of my legs last time, maybe I wouldn't be saying that. You need to stop making that face, because... Alright. You know what, Izzy? If you don't claw me, I will let you... I'll give you a second chance. There we go. If you want to be a lap cat for the stream. Alright, there we go. And here we go. Chase Briscoe just lost a spot to Chris Buescher. Oh boy. Buescher is booking it here to the front of the field. Buescher making some big moves. Please do not dig my leg, Gizmo. Alright, so there we go. 18 laps completed here so far. Byron out in front, and Buescher to second, Briscoe to third. Ow! Ow! Come on, Gizmo. Alright, he really needs to not dig right on my legs. Alright, so we got 19 laps in here so far. Blaney's moving... Blaney's moved his way all the way up into 9th here. Ty Gibbs really hasn't moved anywhere, positive or negatively. There we go. Ty Gibbs gets passed by Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney now up to the 8th position. But yeah, so far though, I'm curious to see where Buescher ends up going here. He's closing it. He's closed it by 0.2 of a second to Byron already on this run. If he can get closer, that will be really exciting here. Hey crew, how's it going? Alright, so here we go. Briscoe now has Hamlin breathing down his neck. Briscoe really seems to be struggling here. Because, I mean, everybody's been able to catch Briscoe so far, and Briscoe seems to not be able to hang close to anybody, but here comes Buescher. Buescher with a big run here. He's closing it right up on the back bumper of Byron. Byron's going to be under pressure here soon from Chris Buescher. That is going to be no joke here. Alright, yeah, there we go. Alright, so 22 laps in here. Again, Hamlin versus Briscoe. They've worked their way through this one. But again, Buescher is closing in on that rear bumper of Byron here, and he is going to try and make this one happen. There we go. Alright, so they are going to their second commercial here. So there we go. Second commercial, both of them side by side. We got 24 laps to go. 24 to go here in stage number 1. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. 22 laps to go here as we're working our way through this one. Again, Briscoe just trying to hold off the 11. Meanwhile, Chris Buescher has brought it all the way to the front of the field. He's looking for the lead here on Byron. So Byron versus Briscoe, Byron versus Buescher here for the front of the field. Hamlin and Briscoe working their way to trying to work together as best they can, but at some point that's going to start costing Hamlin. He'll bail on him. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so 20 laps to go. Here we go. 20 to go here in this stage. We've actually had it, while it hasn't been the most thrilling stage, like edge of your seat action, there's still been some pretty good moves. We've had the Hocevar moving up a bit. We've obviously had Reddick, who's worked his way through half the field here. As Tyler Reddick's now up to 18th after starting in 36th position here. And we've got Chris Buescher breathing down the neck of William Byron for the lead of the race here. Again, we got ourselves a really good one here. Yeah, let's go ahead and skip around to ads and keep on going. Alright, go. Alright, so here comes Buescher looking to the inside. Chris Buescher looking to the inside of William Byron. Byron finally under pressure here. Briscoe has dropped now to outside the range of 2 seconds off the leader. 2 seconds behind the leader is Chris Buescher. Is Chase Briscoe in that third position. But yeah, so a 2 second gap between Buescher in second and Briscoe in third is insane. Of course, Buescher, the 2023 race winner here at Michigan. But yeah, Ty Gibbs does not look very good here as he's dropping spots like a rock here. Loses one to Elliott, now looking like he's going to lose one to Allmendinger here. Again, only 15 laps away from points being paid. And I mean, even while spot 14 and 15 aren't points positions, there's still parts of the race that Alright, so here we go. Hamlin looking up the inside on Busher. Or on Briscoe, I mean. Getting all the B names mixed up. Yeah, here we go. Briscoe and Hamlin dueling it out side by side. Busher and Byron at the front of the field battling it out for the lead. Alright, so there we go. And it looks like, again, Briscoe and Hamlin dueling it out, duking it out here for this one. But yeah, so Ty Gibbs, though, continues his free fall. How far has he free fallen at this point? Alright, so there we go. Alright, we are chilling. Again, right now, Busher trying to make a pass on Byron here. Briscoe starting to slip all the way back to falling to Josh Berry in fifth place. Alright, here we go. 13 laps, yeah, 13 more times around here. Tyler Reddick's up to 18th. And Ty Gibbs has slipped to 23rd. Yikes, yikes, yikes. That is not good. Alright, so there we go. Here comes the 99 Suarez down pit road. Alright, so there we go. Again, 11 laps to go here. Busher continues to put immense pressure on the 24. The 24, though, he's held on so far. So far, so good here. The camera angle they just went to really looked like there was a car spinning down the back straightaway, but we're all good. Did you see the Making Grounded 2? No, I have not. I'm assuming that's a movie, but no idea what it is. Here we go. Busher looking up the inside. He's going to get alongside him this time. And Busher clears William Byron for the lead with 10 laps to go in the stage. 10 laps to go in the stage, and William Byron has lost the lead to Chris Busher. Let's go. Chris Busher with an incredible performance. There we go. Okay, it's a video game. Okay, if you haven't played the first one, it's amazing. Yet, no, I have not played the first one. So I don't play a lot of video games. I mean, I do have a gaming channel, but for the most part, like, when I play a video game, I usually get pretty into it to the point where I usually can't play more than one video game or two, so... go. Does anyone know if the blimp is still at MIS? I have not seen necessarily. I don't remember if I've seen any blimp shots yet today or not. I'll keep an eye out. Now I know what I'm looking for, but yeah, no, I have not noticed any in particular. But here we go. The 5 of Larson. And here comes Ryan Blaney gonna pass the 5. And that is going to put Ryan Blaney up into... Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let's say 7 laps to go. It'll be 6 more at the line this time. 6 more laps to go here. Alright, so there we go. And the flight radar red pops on and offline. Alright, weird. Haven't seen a blimp in a long time at a race. Yeah, I mean, I remember when the blimp was sponsored by Smithfield for the NBC portion of the year. It was obviously a Goodyear blimp for the first half. But yeah, Kyle Busch, even despite a slide down the leaderboard here at the beginning, he's still 7 points above the cut line as Hocevar is now 7 points out. And ironically, those two are racing against each other on track right now. As Hocevar is getting closer and closer to that back bumper of Kyle Busch, currently in 10th and 11th place here. So it looks like about 3/4 of a second between them, so not really overly close, but still something to keep an eye on as we go down the bar here. Alright, so yeah, here's Bowman. Bowman, the first 6 in the last 8 races. So, the first 6 races, Bowman was actually having a really good start, and now he's had an average finish of 26th through the last 8 races. Yikes. It's not good. Not good at all. Alright, so here we go. 3 laps to go, and Buescher has a safe lead here. Although, here comes Hamlin. Hamlin's going to be close enough to try and challenge Byron for second here in the stage. You know, say 2 laps to go. Pit road is closed for the end of the second stage. Alright, so here we go. 2 laps to go. I don't know if Hamlin will get a real shot at Byron, but he's close. Alright, so here we go again. Buescher It's the final lap of the stage. Byron to the bottom. Byron's going to try and make it there. Not going to get there, but he is going to hold on to second. So here we go. Chris Buescher is your stage 1 winner. Byron second. Hamlin third. Fourth will be where we find Chase Briscoe. Oh, wait, no, he may lose it to Barry. No, he holds on. Barry fifth. Sixth will be Blaney. Seventh, Larson. Eighth, Bubba Wallace. Ninth, we find Kyle Busch. And Hocevar grabs that final spot. Joey Logano, the first driver to miss out on points today. So there we go. Alright, so there we go. Buescher is your stage winner. They're going to go to a full screen commercial break, and we'll be right back. I just need to get something real quick, and we'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. We are back and we are ready to go. I went and used the bathroom and then grabbed a couple of Q-tips. But here we go. We are ready to go. Pit stops have occurred. We have Ryan Blaney out in front of the field right now after pit stops. So Blaney the lead, Hamlin the second. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, let's get locked in, get ready for this one. Again, Blaney out in front of the field, Hamlin the second. Kyle Busch back up with a pretty decent pit stop. Seems like Byron's pit crew might have let him down a little bit here. And oh no, the fuel can potentially fueling the car. So again, the question is whether or not the fuel can here was still filling the car by the time Hamlin left his pit box. I think they're going to be good, but man, that was close. That very nearly could have been a penalty. Alright, so there we go. Here we go. Pace car's off. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. And Ryan Blaney is going to try and lead him down to the green with Carson Hocevar in his rear bumper here. Couple of drivers poking on the line here, but right now it is going to be Ryan Blaney getting clear of Denny Hamlin on the inside. Alright, so there we go. Again, Hocevar trying to now make a pass here. No! To the bottom of the racetrack! 4 wide! Both of the Hendrick Motorsports guys, Chase Elliott and William Byron, looked like they were about to wreck each other as they go underneath Hocevar and Denny Hamlin here. Chase Elliott with the three car pass there, passing 3 cars. Briscoe to the bottom of 3 wide as well down the back straightaway, making some moves. And, man, we have got some really good moves here through the field. Again, curious to see how... Alright, so Buescher in 9th is where we're going to be kind of keeping an eye on to see if he can climb his way up here. But there's some really good battles here further back. Christopher Bell poking out of line 4 wide down the front straightaway. Here we go. Alright, so here we go again. Bell looking to the bottom of the racetrack. The 4 of Noah Gragson and John Hunter Nemechek both making some moves here as well, a little bit further back in the pack. We got some really good moves going on here. Alright, so there we go. Oh man, the 43 of Jones backing way up ends up parking himself kind of right on the front nose of the 21 here. Not sure what position that one's in, but here comes Chase Elliott to the lead. And there he is. Chase Elliott, at one of his, at least early on, this is one of his best tracks. It's been a little bit since I've really heard anyone talk about Elliott and the Elliott-Michigan combo, but early on, back in 2016, 2017, 2018, a lot of people were talking about this as one of his best shots to get that first win. So, again, obviously it's not his first win at this point, but what a way for him to get his first win of the season here at Michigan. And I believe that would end up being, his first ever Michigan win as well, which is just another thing to think about here. But there we go. Everybody trying to make some passes here. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson side by side. Almost up into the fence goes Kyle Larson. And here comes Kyle Busch and Chris Buescher down the inside. Here comes Bubba Wallace now to the back bumper of Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace, though, very light push. He does not want to give too big a push there to Kyle Busch. And then ultimately Larson around the outside battles back ahead of Kyle Busch. And we got ourselves a pretty good race going here. Alright, so here we go. Bubba Wallace up to 7th here. Kyle Busch cycled back to 8th. Again, we've seen Kyle Busch not be able to stick there too well. Here comes Denny Hamlin to the bottom of 3 wide here. Eric Jones near the top 10. He was trying to make a pass on Reddick as Denny Hamlin tried to go below both of them to make that pass. This has actually been a really exciting start to stage 2, honestly. Alright, so there we go. Zane Smith coming up to try and see if he can weave his way through. And yeah, right now though, Denny Hamlin gonna have to sit behind Chris Buescher here for at least a lap or 2. But yeah, again, right now this front of the field. Oh, caution flag! The 4 of the 42. We were talking about them a moment ago. The 4 of Noah Gragson, the 42 of Nemechek. Both cars are gone around. Both of them appear to be missing right front tires. Both of them seem to have gone flat. But yeah, I mean, Chase Elliott, though, on that last run was insane. Chase Elliott having a great run, getting himself all the way up into the front. Now it's going to be him versus Blaney on the front row for the next restart. So again, here comes Gragson, going to limp it back down pit road. They go to a side-by-side commercial here. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we got a lot of Toyota power coming from deeper in the field. I'm curious to see if Kyle Busch can maybe figure out some way to get some kind of momentum going for himself, but he's had a little bit of a rough one here. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so we're closing in on, we're almost done with the first half of this race, honestly. I mean, we're 61 laps in, halfway is 100, so that way, if there is any rain, we'll make it through no problem. Next Saturday, 4 p.m. for the Xfinity Series race over on the CW. What time is the Cup race at on Sunday? Alright, so there we go. And we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Have not seen anybody make a dive for pit road yet, so not sure if they're just choosing not to or if the pit road's not even open yet. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hope everybody's having a good time. here we go. Let's see what actually happened here. So, okay, I have no idea there. I mean, yeah, both cars just kind of lose control out of pretty close to nowhere. And I'm still at a loss as to what caused those cars to go around. And there's that close call we had with the wall when Denny Hamlin went and shoved Larson towards the fence. So there we go. Alright, so again, everybody's stopped at lap 48. So the top 15 stayed out under this most recent caution. The rest, mostly gas and goes on the pit stops that we did see. So here we go. Pace cars off, field in the hands of Elliott and Blaney. Again, about the top 15 staying out. And we are back to racing. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. Alright, so here we go, here we go. Kyle Larson already on the outside of 3 wide, trying to make some big moves here. And say Kyle Busch in the middle of 3 wide there, not exactly having the best time here. Still stuck on the outside is Bubba Wallace, middle of 3 wide, middle of 4 wide, as drivers going every which way to get out from behind Bubba Wallace's machine here. And we got drivers getting slowed up. This is a really edgy field here, and I would not want to be Bubba Wallace right about now. As pretty much everybody is trying to get out from behind him, and nobody seems overly comfortable anywhere near him. Now, but that's more so just because I think these cars are on edge than it is people being actually nervous about his driving. But, oh, yeah, there it is! Caution flies! Big hit Bowman! Big hit Alex Bowman, and no! Briscoe gets tagged in it as well. Briscoe gets tagged in it as well. Oh, no. No. Hope Bowman's okay. That was a massive impact of that front end. The entire front end is very short right now, and we're waiting to see Alex Bowman climb from his car. He has dropped the window net to signal that he is okay, which is always a good sign when you see a massive impact like that. You never want to see injuries here. And there's the Bowman, the number 48 team, absolutely dejected here again. The AMR safety team getting ready to help Bowman out of the car. And there he is, climbing from the race car. Gotta love to see it. Glad to see Bowman climbing out of his car, largely under his own power, walking to the ambulance. Very good signs. So, again, you hate to see a big crash like that for some of these drivers, but always cool to see them walk away from it. So let's see what actually happened here. So, Cole Custer just kind of was sticking his nose in a place. Daniel Suarez didn't know that Custer was doing that. So technically they were in the middle of 4 wide, and neither one, I don't think, knew that they were necessarily 4 wide. Once Suarez went down there, tapped him, and noticed he was there, he tried to get up, but the damage had already been done. And Custer had lost control of the car, wiping out everybody behind him. So, again, it's one of those things. It was a very small thing. And the fact that Suarez even felt it and was able to try and correct it, but then not able to get fully back out the way. And even the pole sitter, Chase Briscoe got caught up in this one. Red flag has been displayed. the red flag, it has been displayed. They are going to stop the pacing as they go ahead and get the 48 car Bowman off the track. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. They're drying up the speedy dry and hooking up the 48 car. Again, after just what was a massive impact for car and driver number 48, Alex Bowman. Again, Bowman did climb out of the car, say with very little assistance and walked to the ambulance by himself. But he's going to be sore tomorrow after that one. Alright, so there we go. Again, glad to see, again, always like to see these drivers be able to walk away from some of these scary accidents, because that is not a guarantee. These drivers are not guaranteed to be able to walk away from some of this stuff. But yeah, there we go. Alright, there we go, there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here, currently under the red flag for the Alex Bowman crash. Again, not much we can really say so far. I mean, again, Cole Custer and Suarez just had a very unfortunate get together. Yeah, but again, all drivers have gotten out of there. So again, 68 laps in here to this one. Currently 23 laps into the 75 lap stage. And yeah, we are currently under this red flag, and all these drivers, all these crew members starting to just pace around here as we're waiting. So as the cars stop pacing, the crew guys start pacing. Alright, there we go. Alright, well, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, let's see. Just trying to find anything to really talk about, because again, right now we're kind of just stationary here. The restart, that start to stage 2 is a really fun one. You know, we've had a lot of good racing here, and again, right now we're just currently under the red flag, waiting to go back under yellow. But yeah, man, that onboard was insane. Alright, there we go. And we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, we're under the red flag, but hopefully it will not be for long. Yeah, if we get any sort of confirmation that it will be a while before we go back racing, we can flip on over to the video game. But again, I'm trying to avoid ending up going to filler content. At least not yet. We've actually managed to avoid filler content, when it comes to this season quite a bit. Alright, well, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so they're back from commercial, but we are still under the red flag here for the time being. Again, just an insane wreck that we are currently on the tail end, hopefully, of the cleanup here. As it was an insanely big wreck. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Blimp is still here. Alright, nice. Love to hear it. Yeah, right now we're just chilling out. Currently, stopped under a red flag. Everybody's kind of halted here. And because there's a lot of releases going on. There we go. Ooh, someone got a 9 on that. There we go. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so the Byron team talking about how they think they could get to 62 laps. Alright. Oh, you're at the race. Okay, cool. Always love when people are heading out to the track. I'll be at the track for 2 weeks in September. I'll be at 3 of the 4 Bristol night races. We'll miss ARCA because I'll be on my way to the track. And then I will be at the New Hampshire race weekend as well. So should be a ton of fun. I also got my season pass earlier this week for my local dirt track. I was able to get there in time, and we did secure the pass. Unfortunately, I said I would share practice clips. It was pouring rain by the time I got there, so there was no actual practice going on, and the cars were actually already, a lot of the cars were already on their way home, so it's a Goodyear blimp. Yep, well, again, sometimes it's a Goodyear blimp, but technically presented by somebody else, so. Yep. Always cool to see the blimps, though. I think they added a lot to the atmosphere. Here we go. Pit road's open, and almost everybody's coming. Here we go. Byron, Elliott, Blaney, all coming down pit road. Alright, here we go. Coming off the pit road, and it's going to be Reddick jumping up 4 spots, Larson jumping up 1. Oh, Reddick took no tires. Larson took no tires. Larson took 2. Byron took 2. Gibbs taking no tires, jumping up a bunch of spots. Stenhouse and Allmendinger are also going no tires. Meanwhile, guys like Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Zane Smith, all taking 2 tires. Here we go. Can't hear the streamer because of the cars. Yeah, well, that's that's one of those things about NASCAR races. They are loud. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yep. Yeah, I know. Alex Bowman just got DNF'd out of the race, so. Yeah, I mean, that was a big hit. Glad that he's okay, but man, nasty hit to see. Alright, so there we go. Oh, and Allmendinger coming back down. Uh-oh, not sure if that's going to be an issue or not. He was one of the ones who we saw take no tires. Alright, there we go. I live in Michigan State. Alright, nice. Always nice to see some of the local fans popping on in. Again, I don't live anywhere near Michigan, unfortunately, so I'm not sure when or if I'll get the chance to go to a Michigan race. But especially the way it's racing recently, I will absolutely take it. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time as we're going to be getting ready for this restart here shortly. So there we go. Yep, here we go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. Chase Elliott from the top side of the side is going to take this one down into the green. And, oh, he gets slowed up. Mike McDowell right on the back bumper of Elliott. Bell on the back bumper there again. Mike McDowell on some of the fresher 2 tires here. Bell, Elliott, two of the only drivers who chose to stay out at this most recent pit stop. So again, Mike McDowell making some moves to try and gain some spots here. Chase Elliott around the outside blows past Bell here. Again, the 2 of them on the oldest tires here, but Elliott has taken the fastest lap award. Not sure if that was this first lap off the restart or if that was earlier during the run and we were just sidetracked because of all the great racing that we had. But Chase Elliott is your current fastest lap of the race. You got Keselowski up in the mix. You got Michael McDowell, Gilliland. There's a lot of drivers people probably wouldn't have expected if you just told them the names and didn't tell them the circumstances because, yeah, that is insane. Michael McDowell passes Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski going up to 3rd place here. McDowell trying to get a push from Brad Keselowski. Keselowski with a push and, oh, caution! Caution flag flies. Yet again, it's the 42 in Nemechek again. The 42 in Nemechek is spun around it yet again. Yep, another one. And it's one of the same drivers from the first caution flag for contact. So there we go. Alright, so yeah, it was John Hunter Nemechek, car 42, for the second time he's gone around. Earlier it was him and Noah Gragson causing the first caution flag. Then we had the big Bowman crash only 2 laps into this one. Now it's the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek once again. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And yeah, there's the torn up Alex Bowman car again. That is just such an insane wreck again. And again, we're under the caution flag for the third time here in a very short space of time. Alright, well, there we go. And we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, here we go. Alex Bowman released from the infield care center. Here we go. Let's see what Alex has to say here. Alright, yeah, that hurt a lot. That was probably top of the board on the hits I've taken, and unfortunately I've taken a lot of hits, so I hate that for the 48 team. Obviously, Ally, as for me, it looks like, I don't know if the 41 got loose into 2 or something. At that point, you're just along for the ride. Yep. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really any of these drivers could have done. I mean, maybe if Suarez and or Riley Herbst maybe had had an IQ of like 30,000, maybe they could have pulled something off. But yeah, I don't think there was much any of these drivers could do without knowing the future to drive that thing any better and avoid that wreck. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And this time with pit road opening, here comes Chase Elliott down pit road. He's the only one coming down pit road all by himself. That is a very lonely ride down the pit lane. Alright, so there we go. They're on the side-by-side commercial. I'm going to go run and use the bathroom real quick one more time, and we will be right back, guys. of course we went green. Okay, here we go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. All right, so we got Byron out in front. Reddick, Bell, Mike McDowell still up there in the mix here. Let's see. But William Byron is out in front, and he is going to try and control the front of this field the rest of the way. All right, there we go. All right, we're back. We've got as we're crossing the halfway point here in the stage. Alright, so there we go. Again, we got, as I said, we got some good moves through the field here. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. We got ourselves a pretty good race going on, though. Again, we got Byron back to the top of the board with the fastest lap. Ty Dillon trying to challenge Zane Smith here for the 11th position. And yeah, right now we got ourselves a pretty good race going on. Alright, so Kyle Busch back in 17th. We'll have to wait and see if he can make his way back through the field here. Alright, so there we go again. Byron, Bell, Reddick, Keselowski, Logano, the top 5. Honestly, a pretty strong top 5, honestly. Alright, so there we go. You know, we're just chilling out here. We got Priest versus Michael McDowell. Okay, a couple of guys. Alright, so there we go again. Right now we are chilling out here. And oh, there we go. We got Gilliland up in front of Logano. There we go. Todd Gilliland trying to get ahead of Logano in the red car. Then we got the casserole car of Ryan Priest and Denny Hamlin right in the mix as well. Here we go. Let's go ahead and skip around to ads and yeah, go ahead and just enjoy this one. So there we go. Alright, again, right now, Gilliland out in front of the field, Priest, Logano, Hamlin, McDowell, Hocevar the back half of the top 10. But yeah, again, this race has been really good. Unfortunately, Kyle Busch is still back in the pack here a bit. Alright, yeah, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. Again, we're closing in on halfway in this race. We're getting closer and closer. We are over halfway through this second stage here. And now that we've actually gotten into a little bit of a green flag run here, I'm curious to see where this ends up being here. As we got 3 wide there for what position is that? 3 wide for 19th. As Larson, Busher, and Haley were all 3 wide there for a moment as Kyle Larson goes and passes both of them. 2 passes in 1 corner. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. As we're just chilling out here again, I know I've not been the most focused. Let's go ahead and set the phone down and lock back in here as we're getting ready for this one. Again, Byron's actually has a decent lead over Bell here, and the fact that everybody's on different tires definitely makes this a very complicated one to try and follow. Alright, so here we go. Kyle Busch making a pass here, and here comes Ryan Blaney on the inside. Kyle Busch trying to make this one, though, around the outside. He does. He completes his pass over Blaney. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, right now, though, we got Michael McDowell's dropped to 11th here. Reddick, though, still hanging out inside the top 3. I can't remember who I... did I pick the other Kyle Busch? I think that's it. Yeah, that's what I picked for the win, so. Alright. Let's check the NASCAR fantasy team, see how we're doing, and hopefully we won't have to make major changes here as we're coming down to the end of this one. Okay. Alright, there we go. Ty Gibbs is kind of my big disappointment. But yeah, everybody has kind of a low overall point total right now for the NASCAR fantasy. Yeah, I think at least for our group. 28 laps to go here. Still plenty of time in stage 2 for some of these drivers to try and get back up here. But as of right now, it is definitely not going their way right now. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling. We got 28 laps to go here. Here we go. Bubba Wallace looking at the inside on the 2 car here. Battling it out for the 12th position, trying to take 12th away from Cindric. And say, here's comes that big push from the one car of Ross Chastain is going to get Lawson Cindric back out ahead of Bubba Wallace, and it's going to help Lawson. It's also going to help Ross Chastain pass Bubba Wallace. So instead of going for 11th, he ends up dropping back to 13th instead. Alright, so yeah, right now we're working our way through this one. Hocevar up into the top 10, Mike McDowell top 10, so 2 of the 3 Spire cars inside the top 10, not bad. Not bad at all. The other Spire Motorsports car is 25th. Yikes. Again, everybody on the lead lap who's out on track right now, which is actually, again, a pretty impressive stat line there. Alright, so yeah, again, right now though, we got Logano getting pushed here by Bubba. Bubba looking to the inside. Bubba going to the bottom of the racetrack here. After both Chastain and Cindric slid all the way back. And here comes Cindric passing Logano. There we go. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. 24 laps to go. Now 23 more times around here. And again, they were working their way through this one pretty well. Nobody else in the 191 mile an hour lap here. But yeah, as we get later and later into this stage 2, they're going to want to make this one happen. We're going to have to wait and see what can happen here. Let's go ahead and get Ty Gibbs out of my other fantasy lineups real quick. I'm definitely thinking about taking part in less fantasy leagues next year just so I can focus on 1 or 2. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And again, if you guys play the NASCAR Fantasy app, now would be a good time to double check your lineups. Make sure you guys have Ty Gibbs or whoever else is letting your fantasy team out down. Because, again, this is your best shot to go ahead and undo it. Alright, so we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We're still at a commercial break here. This is side-by-side, but we are working our way through this one. We're also currently fixing our fantasy lineup real quick, and then we will be right back with you guys. Alright, there we go. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, 18 laps to go. Only 18 more laps to get your fantasy lineups in order. Alright, so there we go. We're back from the commercial break here. Byron up to first. The only Chevy inside the top 6. You got Hosar in 7th. Alright, there we go. Trying to get the hair out of my nose because it is annoying. Alright, here we go. I got it. 16 laps to go. Working our way through this thing. Let's see. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Right now we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Got one more fantasy line to fix on. We'll be good to go. And here comes Christopher Bell. Bell coming down pit road. 15 laps to go. He was making another caution. Alright, here we go. Let's see. And it's trying to go a little on. Man. Oh, and now it's Blaney around. Yep, Ryan Blaney goes around, and that's going to be yet another caution flag. Luckily, nobody else collected it. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Currently 11 laps to go here. Let's see what happened. Alright, here we go. Here comes everybody else down pit road. Byron Reddick, Larson, or Byron Reddick Kozlowski coming down pit road. Alright, there we go. We got a commercial break. Let's see. Yeah, probably when I decided I wasn't going to pick him, I'm like, let's hedge our bets and hope that he's. Because I feel like he was either going to be a boom or a bust. And it's like, if he has a bust while going for a win, he probably won't win his head to head either. Well, they're actually working out his car. He might be back in it. Alright, so there we go. 9 laps to go. Here we go. Clearly, the way this race is going, I'm going to need some snacks. Because, yeah, this race has been with all the different cars on different strategies, it has definitely been weird. Oh, they got the Jacqueline Sasquatch out there. Alright, here we go. Choose cone time. Looks like the front two guys both going to the top. Cindric and Dillon, the pair of Austins, both taking the top side, allowing Briscoe and Byron to both claim the inside line. Alright, so there we go. Chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So, odds to win the race. Byron, Hamlin, Reddick, Elliott, Larson. 3 Hendrick cars. Could we get a little bit less bias there? Because, I mean, I get it. Hendrick's good. And all 3 of their Hendrick cars have looked good today. But come on. There's got to be some Toyotas or Fords. In fact, actually, how many people on that list a moment ago were not Fords? Considering the fact that Ford has won 9 of the last 10 races here, I'd be shocked if we don't. So here we go. We have 3 drivers on old tires. The rest are on 4 fresh ones, pretty much. There we go. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe. As we go green, 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 green flags out. We are back to racing. So there we go. 7 laps to go. Everybody kind of peeking out of line here as they're getting ready for this one. Everybody trying to get out from behind guys like Dillon and Cindric here. And here we go. William Byron to the bottom of the racetrack making some moves. Big time move here. Cindric on the top side. He's got the 45 of Reddick to his back bumper. To the bottom goes Reddick, looking for the lead. Tyler Reddick out in front of the field. We got Reddick putting the slider. Oh no! Crossover move. Austin Cindric manages to pull the crossover move off. Takes that lead and puts an aggressive block on the 45. As here comes the 24 back to the inside. Everybody's trying to make some sliders here. Byron tries to slide up the inside of the 2. Not able to get there. Bad time for the ad YouTube. Let's go ahead and throw a 10-minute delay on those. And yeah, let's go ahead and keep this one rolling. Again, right now we got Carson Hocevar. We got him and Chastain dueling it out for 4th and 5th here currently in this stage. Again, 6 laps to go. It is going to be quick. And again, these 3 drivers at the front. Cindric, Reddick, Byron. All 3 dueling it out here. Byron all the way to the bottom, trying to just snake away from the 45. If these 2 could agree on what they wanted to do, they could probably pass Cindric fairly easily. But so far, though, Reddick has not seemed overly in line with trying to figure out what Byron's going to do. So here we go. Or he's trying to follow the 2. So here we go. 5 laps to go. 5 more times around. Now 4 laps. 4 laps to go. Cindric still putting some big blocks here. They're looking all the way to the bottom on McDowell and Buescher here, trying to make a pass, but ultimately thinks better of it. Alright, so here we go again. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, here we go. Pit road's closed with 2 laps to go in the stage. Again, Cindric still holding off with William Byron. And Hocevar is now challenging and passed Tyler Reddick. Reddick now has the one of Ross Chastain also trying to go by him here. And here we go to the bottom of the racetrack. It's going to be Byron leading at the line. 1 lap to go. Contact. Here we go. Cindric, Byron. These two door to door, wheel to wheel, and it's going to be William Byron taking the lead here as we take one lap to go. Cindric will have one opportunity to try and get him back. It's going to be down the back straightaway and into 3 that he's going to have to set this one up and make the pass off of turn 4. But Hocevar not looking to go along with any kind of plan here. Hocevar looking to the top of Cindric here. He looks like he wants to try and go for Byron. I don't think he's going to be able to get there from that far back. Off of turn 4, nobody's going to get there. Byron's going to win this stage. Cindric second, Hocevar third. Fourth will be Reddick. Fifth, Chastain. Priest, Wallace, Hamlin, Ty Dillon, and Jones, the other drivers earning points. Let's go. Good job, Ty Dillon and Eric Jones. A couple of drivers earning some stage points that we normally wouldn't expect to be earning stage points. Good job on them. Alright, so there we go. Again, caution flies for the end of the stage. Kyle Busch was the first driver to miss out on points in that stage. Unfortunate. Alright, but yeah, here we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. Currently under commercial break as we are just chilling out here. We've got 80 laps to go. Only 80 to go here. Let's see. Yeah, we got guys like Chase Elliott, Mike McDowell, Barry, Zane Smith. Down through the rest of the top 20. Where did McDowell end up? McDowell is 16th. Okay. Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson both missed out on the stage points. Okay, there we go. Alright, well, there we go. Again, would love to hear your guys' opinions as to who you guys think is going to win this one. Also, earlier today, we had it officially confirmed that Dodge will be re-entering the Truck Series starting next year. And possibly paving the way for a Dodge re-entry into the NASCAR Cup Series. So, that'll be exciting. I'm sure there will be absolutely no rumors as to which current teams or current drivers would make the switch. Penske probably not making the switch, considering how much success Ford's had with them. I think Ford absolutely wants to keep them in-house. But the three teams I've kind of highlighted as early favorites to potentially make the move, I think these are going to be 3 pretty big consensus ones. I think it's pretty obvious that at least one of these 2 will definitely make the move. I think Trackhouse and or Spire Motorsports, I think one or both of them would be great candidates to get out of the depth chart at Chevy and move straight up the ladder at Dodge, which I think would be a great opportunity for those 2 teams. Then you've got the my kind of wild card where I think Kaulig Racing could be a sneaky good opportunity for Dodge to pick up. Again, I would assume that Dodge would probably want about 6 to 8 charters for their re-entry, because I don't think you really want to rejoin the series with only. I don't think you want to be another Toyota where you join the series with like 4 or 5 cars total on the entire field. Now, granted, if those 4 or 5 cars are winning championships, sure. But it's going to be pretty hard to get some of those race wins and championships without teammates out there to learn and collect data. So, ideally, again, I think you want somewhere between 6 to 8 charters, and that's where I look at it and I think, okay, if both Spire and Trackhouse go, I can see Dodge saying, "Yeah, that's good." But if let's say Spire or Trackhouse decide, "Nah, we're gonna stick with Chevy," then we have the interesting conundrum of, okay, what do you do then? Oh, SVG left with a wedge wrench in the rear roof thing, and they're gonna go ahead and just top him off on fuel here, and he'll be at the back of the field anyway. But yeah, I would love to hear who you guys think could be which teams could be on the move here. But yeah, so if one of those two teams stays with Chevy, again, I don't think Dodge wants to be one of those where they only have 3 cars in the entire field or 3 competitive cars in the entire field. So I think you'd ideally want to see, again, one of those. So if they can't get Spire, maybe they go for a colleague. I can also see a 1-car team like Rick Ware or Hayek Motorsports making the jump potentially to try and again dig themselves out of the depth chart of the Chevy and Ford rosters. But really, outside of that, I don't really know what other teams would be really prime candidates to move. I mean, I've heard some of the names. Again, Penske, I don't think so because I think they've had so much success with Ford over the last couple of years. Roush, for obvious reasons, even though Brad Keselowski himself has a lot of family history with Dodge. I don't think you would see I don't think you'd see Roush move to Dodge as long as Roush is part of that name. Then you've got, looking at some of these other teams, it's like, okay, RCR, they are way too heavily entrenched in Chevys to leave. And then you just keep looking around, and it's like, there really are not very many. I mean, maybe you could get Front Row Motorsports to jump ship, but yeah, with the way that Ford's been investing into them, I would be shocked if they were to leave. Alright, so there we go. The Ram keys to the race as they are going to be getting ready for the choose cone this time by. So we're expecting the choose cone this time by. Because, yeah, I don't think Legacy jumped ship. I think they're too entrenched in Toyota. Same thing with the Michael Jordan team. They are absolutely too entrenched in Toyota to jump ship. Alright, so it's going to be Byron Hocevar on the front row. Reddick and Ryan Preece row 2. And then the best of friends, Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain are going to share a row together. so there we go. All lined up and ready to go here. Pace cars off. Green, green, green. Green flags out. We are back to racing. All right, here we go. Byron, Hocevar down into this one. 4 wide. 4 wide further back. As I say, 4 wide with bubble walls on the outside here as guys continue to drop like rocks. Right in front of Ty Gibbs, too. Oh, no. That's the one of Chastain and the 60 of Ryan Preece that were dropping like rocks there. And that was very potentially dangerous there as those drivers dropped like rocks. And it seems to have left basically a single file train right around the top of the racetrack here. And of course, one of the few drivers moving to the bottom of the racetrack, it's going to be Larson and Busch coming to the bottom. Trying to make something happen. But yeah, here we go. We got Hamlin making a move on Reddick, moving his way up there, and Hocevar took the fastest lap award. Hocevar now the fastest lap of the day. There we go. Let's go. And it looks like Byron takes it right back. William Byron takes it right back. Wow. But yeah, a lot of speed building here. 70 laps to go. Still a long way to go, but again, this race, it feels like it's going to be coming to an end quicker and quicker as these drivers continue to build speed throughout this one. Looks like it is going to be blue skies, so I think we'll get the whole thing in. I don't think there's any real threat of rain. Haven't heard much about rain, although I did hear throughout the weekend talk about the risk of potentially having to move the race up in time to avoid having to postpone it to tomorrow. But again, today will be the end of whatever we see. Here we go. Kyle Larson looking up at the inside. He goes by Ryan Preece and now looking by Ross Chastain. Larson looking for a 2-for-1 pass. Not going to get there. He's going to end up sliding into line in, I believe that is 12th place. Yep, 12th place for Larson. Hocevar, though, is really sneaky fast here. He's been right up near the front for a good chunk, and he did just for a minute have the fastest lap award before Byron took it right back away. So we do have ourselves a pretty good race going on here. Alright, so there we go. You know, we got ourselves a pretty good race going on. Let's say, two of the best young stars up at the front of the field, Byron versus Hocevar, dueling it out. Again, Carson Hocevar looking to try and see if he can get his first career Cup Series win and the second win on the in their existence for Spire Motorsports. That would be incredible. The other two Spire cars are Michael McDowell in 20th and Haley in 25th. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are working our way through this one, and Byron a little faster than Post Ride that last time by, but both of them about 2 miles an hour off of what their best lap speed was a couple of minutes ago when they went and turned on the jets. And yeah, here's a replay of that thing that happened on the start when we saw both those drivers go falling to the field. The 1 and the 60. Ended up in the middle of 4 wide, and they just could not seem to find any speed. Alright, so there we go. Again, Larson back up into the... Larson's fought his way all the way back up into the top 10. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He does have about 60 laps to get there. And, in fact, based on what Byron's crew is saying, I think that they could be entering this pit window here to where they could pit and make it to the end of this one. Of course, we'll have to wait and see exactly, but it's definitely a curious one to see if some of these guys do it. And again, the fact that there are so many guys on different strategies really makes it kind of weird to keep an eye on, because obviously I think guys like Larson actually have fresher tires than the rest of the field. Alright, so there we go. They're getting ready to send us to a commercial break here for the time being. And yep, 62 laps to go, and they send us to our possibly final commercial break of the race, which would be interesting. And I say, this is around the point in the race where we got our no more commercial breaks the last 2 weeks, and again, I think Amazon has been doing a phenomenal job. And I mean phenomenal. Alright, there we go. Blimp status again. We haven't really seen the blimp on the TV much, but from our friends at the track, they've said that it is there, so maybe they're just using the blimp for photographs this time around. So 59 laps to go. And next week, again, we will be the NASCAR Cup Series heads to Mexico, as all eyes will be on Team Trackhouse at that race. Again, the 99 of Suarez in his home country. And then we've got SVG on the road course looking for that one. That will be exciting. Obviously, CW ad here advertising that the NASCAR Sunday Series race at 4 p.m. on Saturday will be fun. And there's the blimp. There we go. Hey, the Goodyear blimp. It's up there. High above the racing circuit. There we go. The blimp got a nice close up there. So we got Tyler Reddick as one of the ones to watch. Absolutely, he is going to be a factor here as we get to the end of this one. Yeah, Chris Buescher would not rule him out for a potential win here. Kyle Busch, there we go. There's my pick. I'm gonna say my pre-race pick, Kyle Busch. He's still up in the 6th position. Here we go. I'm gonna say got Josh Berry right on his tail, waiting to try and pass him here. I would love to see Kyle Busch get this 65 or even 70 wins before his career is out, but it's been 71 races since his last win, a long winless streak, including his first ever winless season last year, which is hard to believe. I'm going to say, Stenhouse McDowell not having the best of days on points here. Hocevar now 7 points above Kyle Busch for that cut line, so Hocevar would actually be in the playoffs if they started right now. Caution flies! Caution flag, yellow, yellow, yellow. The 34 of Gilliland is around. The 34 of Gilliland looks like a lot of rear end damage. I'm not sure if he got spun around or what exactly happened, but yeah, he definitely backed that thing into the wall. Yeah, he definitely backed that thing into the wall pretty hard, and we've seen that in the past be pretty bad. Believe that's how, what's his name? Alex Bowman hurt his neck at Texas. And obviously, I think we all pretty much remember the career-ending injury to Kurt Busch in qualifying at Pocono a couple of years ago in this car. Gillen's still trying to limp it to the pits, though. I mean, credit to him for trying, but I mean, that car is gone. And yeah, there goes he gets the grass, he spins, and he's not going to be able to get that one back to pit road. Well, he made a valiant effort. A very valiant effort, but ultimately comes up short. Alright, so there we go. You know, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. Tyler Reddick on pit road. Byron, Hocevar, all coming down pit road. Alright, a lot of guys on pit road here. Reddick, oh, Reddick gets blocked in his pit box by Brad Keselowski. No. And say William Byron now having to drag race Michael McDowell for the race off pit road. And it looks like, uncontested, it looks like it's going to be the Ziegler machine of Carson Hocevar. No, Zane Smith! Zane Smith takes over the race off pit road from Carson Hocevar with a 2-tire pit stop at the very end. There we go. I thought he was going to lose that one for sure. But yeah, man, Reddick got so... Reddick is going to be so far down the order here. Alright, so here we go. Coming up on 50 laps to go. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We just got Carson Hocevar coming off pit road with the, in second place here as, again, Zane Smith took 2 tires, went to the top of the board. McDowell the third. Michael McDowell the third, also on 2 tires. Alright, so here we go. Give me a second, guys. I just need to swap the computer cords real quick. Just need to give one brick a break because that one gets hot just a little bit. And I don't trust the other one. Alright, so again, 51 laps to go here. Let's see. Again, Todd Gilliland getting towed to the garage. He was not able to drive it back to pit road. So that means he will have to say that car is not getting back out there. I don't care how hard you try. That one might as well just take it to the junkyard. And yep, there we go. Gilliland climbing out of it. I think he knows it's over. I don't know why you even tried pulling it back to pit road, but yeah, Byron comes off 4th. 5th was Larson. Then we got Barry, Busher, Briscoe. Ty Gibbs back up inside the top 10 here. And Bubba Wallace. Denny Hamlin currently in spot number 11. Not bad. Pull up our other leaderboard with the guys outside the top 10. Kyle Busch comes out in 12th. 13th, Priest. 14th, Suarez. And running out your top 15 was Jones. Reddick will be starting in 19th after that bad pit stop. And we have 31 cars officially on the lead lap. So there we go. Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar end up on the front row here. Michael McDowell on the outside of row 2. Then we got Byron behind him. Larson and Busher were the first two guys to kind of choose that inside line after Hosvar took that front spot. So there we go. Team's favoring that outside line just a bit. Alright, well, let's chill out and let's see what we got coming on here. Alright, here we go. Alright, oh, highlighting a Denny Hamlin thing. Let's see. Denny Hamlin. Oh, yep, Kyle Busch right into Denny Hamlin's side door there. As they were already 3 or 4 wide there as they were coming off pit road. That was a very cramped pit road here. The pace car is off, and we will be seeing them going back to racing here. Again, most of the field on 4 tires, a couple of them on 2, and there it is, commercial free through the checkered flag. No more yellows till the end of the race with 50 laps to go. Final 50 laps, commercial free. Here we go. Larson looking at the bottom. Larson looking at the bottom on Hosvar. Hosvar going to try and take this one away. So here we go. Hosvar not able to get alongside. Oh, Larson putting on a really good clinic here of side drafting. He's going to get out in front. No, he's going to slide back beside him. But yeah, so far though, Hosvar putting on a bit of a performance here. Could he be the first Michigan-born driver to win the Michigan race? That has never happened before, which is a little surprising when you think about how many great Michigan drivers are in the field. I mean, you've got Keselowski, Eric Jones, just to name a couple of them. Now you've got Hosvar, who's another great Michigan-born driver. And there's been more over the years for sure. As here we go. Again, right now, Zane Smith still in the top 5 on the older tires here. Byron still holds that fastest lap award, and there we go. Byron takes his spot away from his teammate Kyle Larson, and now Byron can try and run down Hosvar. I say try because I'm not sure Hosvar can really be slowed down here. But here we go. Again, we've seen it out of other cars before where they look unstoppable for a time, or at the very least they look very fast for a bit. But then someone or something manages to catch up to them. Alright, so there we go. Mike McDowell slid all the way back to 10th. Maybe not the best choice to go with 2 tires, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out towards the end of this one. Where's Elliott? Chase Elliott. Give me a second, because they're rotating through the things right now. Do you really want to know? Okay, 23rd. 23rd is where Chase Elliott currently runs. But yeah, Chase Elliott did not have a very good pit stop that last time by. So there we go. Chase Elliott in 23rd. So again, we are just chilling this one out. It was like coming up on 40 laps to go. A lot of these drivers seem to think they can make it to the end on fuel here. So if there is no more cautions, they may be done coming to pit road, which would certainly be interesting down the stretch here to see if we end up having a straight green flag straight to the checkers here. But right now, we've got guys like Bubba Wallace trying to find their grip, but just, say back in 15th for Bubba. Just not much working out here for a lot of these drivers. Again, trying to make it from very deep in the field, and I don't know if they'll be able to make it in time. Kyle Busch up into the top 10. There we go. There's a name I hope we see up in the front. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Hocevar still leads this one, but Byron's closing that gap here minute by minute, second by second as they get closer and closer to the end of this one. I think Byron's going to catch him. It's just a matter of when and where. And oh boy, that was a big save from Shane Van Gisbergen after a slightly lopsided push there from Brad Keselowski. I mean, certainly, I don't think there was any poor intent from that push, but it was just a really sloppy looking push. And yeah, ultimately it almost sent the 88 car around, but manages to hang on to it, and he actually manages to stay in front of Keselowski after all that. So there we go. What a save. What a save indeed. And again, here we go. Hocevar versus Byron. Again, remember the last 9 of the last 10 races at this track have been won by Ford. Now, there are 2 Fords in that top 5, so will one of them find their way to victory lane? Maybe Josh Berry from 9th will shock the field again as he picks up win number 2 on the year. But yeah, regardless though, Hocevar's put on a really good show tonight. 40 laps to go. Four more sets of 10 laps here as they work their way around. Alright, so there we go. And we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Keselowski is going to have to come to pit road. Uh-oh. I didn't realize Keselowski hadn't been on pit road for so long. So there we go. Again, these drivers trying to fuel mileage their way. Again, this is going to be a very much a math and numbers game down the stretch here as they're playing fuel. They're playing the tire numbers to see who can have the best tires the longest here. Alright, so there we go. Again, Larson, 3 wins here at Michigan. Most of those, in fact, all 3 of those coming in 2016 and 2017. Because he was able to win the Michigan race in 2016 for his first career win, along with sweeping Michigan in 2017. So, let's say he was very unstoppable, and there's a reason he got the nickname 2 Mile Kyle, because in addition to sweeping those Michigan races, he also went and won Auto Club in 2017. So he was quite literally, winning all of his races at that point up until Richmond of 2017 had been won on 2 mile tracks. And it was still considered his forte up all the way up until he left Ganassi, basically, and then when he had his mistake that cost him the year of racing, and he came back for Team Hendrick. He seems to have no weakness at all, which also means not very easily identifiable strengths. But I will take unidentifiable strengths if it means no weakness, no weak spots at all. So yeah, there you go. Again, best career finish for Carson Hocevar is a 2nd place twice. Can Hocevar improve that by 1 position here as he currently leads the field with 40 laps to go? Now it'll be 35. 35 more times around here as they are working their way towards the end of this one. But yeah, right now, this has actually been a pretty good race, all things considered. It is kind of slowing down here towards the end as we're getting into this long green flag run, and a lot of these drivers know they've got to save their stuff to the end. But yeah, during that middle portion of the race, when these drivers knew that they had nothing to worry about and they could burn as much fuel and tires as they wanted, I mean, they were throwing absolute haymakers to try and win this one. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, we are chilling. But yeah, here we go. Byron's actually keeping it really close to the 77 here. Kyle Larson is starting to burn up a lot of fuel here, it looks like. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we're chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. We're coming back. Alright, let's see. Oh, Busher got way up the track there. Lost a spot to Zane Smith and Ty Gibbs. Wow. Gibbs up inside the top 5. I kind of had a feeling when I benched him that that was going to happen. Why did I bench him in my fantasy team? Well, that one's going to look like a genius move on my part here, and I'm in second place on points. Okay. So right now, Kyle Busch would be earning me less points than Ty Gibbs, but honestly, it's not hurting me too bad so far. 30 laps to go, and all my guys are inside the top 13, including my garage guy. So I've got 1, 2, and 3 in the leaderboard, and I have 3 of the 4 on the bottom correct. Alright, so my fantasy day is actually going pretty well. Let's go ahead and skip around ads for everybody. So there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And I say, Ty Gibbs, he needs to throw some haymakers here, I think, to try and win this race, because where is he in points? So right now, in terms of points, Ty Gibbs is 55 points out of the playoffs entering this week. So he basically isn't a must-win here. He just has to find a win somewhere down the stretch here. If he does so, I think that will quell a lot of the talk about him. I know a lot of people are starting to talk about him not deserving that ride, and I think some of it is fair, and some of it's just people who absolutely hate Toyota for whatever reason and will hate whoever is in the Gibbs cars. Now, again, there are some legitimate reasons to criticize Gibbs, and I'm not blind to that, but I also think that there's a lot of people who criticize and overly hate the team Joe Gibbs just for being Toyotas, and the second their drivers go anywhere else, they're praised. I mean, look at the Kyle Busch response the second he went from Toyota to Chevy. So there we go. Hocevar, 0 wins this season. Byron's got 1, Larson with 3, and then no other wins inside the top 5. Hamlin with 2 wins in 6th. Chastain, the only other winner inside the top 10. So again, a lot of drivers inside the top 10 looking for their first win of the season, and in some cases, Hocevar, Gibbs, Zane Smith. In those 3 cases, it would be their first career win. Which getting your first career win on a day like today would be insane, especially for Hocevar being able to potentially break the Michigan curse of Michigan-born drivers not winning at Michigan. And being able to have that on your resume has got to be a pretty cool thing to have on there. First driver to win at Michigan after being born in Michigan. Alright, well, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, 25 laps to go. We're working our way through this one here. Closing laps here. Question is, can Hocevar get this one done? Currently holding a 3/4 second lead here. Alright, so there we go. Alright, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, so a lot of these drivers entering the race definitely needed to have some better days than they've had. The big ones being Mike McDowell needed a better day than he's having. Stenhouse has had a completely anonymous day all day today, so definitely one of those where I think some of these drivers definitely need to figure something out. Bubba Wallace just passed Kyle Busch for 10th, so Kyle Busch is going to have an even harder run to the checkers here if he wants to win, because he now has to pass another car. Alright, so there we go. Again, right now, Hocevar versus Byron. It's going pretty well here. Alright, so there we go. So yeah, so Chase Elliott actually apparently sat in the pits a little longer because they thought they didn't have the lug nut secured, so they wanted to double check it, and it cost them a lot of spots. But ultimately, it sounds like they didn't actually have a problem, but they thought they did. So One of those things that is better to be safe than sorry. If that wheel came off on the track, that'd be a very hard one to overcome. And yeah, here we go. Hocevar, currently the race leader, would be our 10th different winner on the year so far. And that would put Bowman currently on the cut line at spot 16. Reddick and Elliott would be really safe. Bubba Wallace on down. Still a little shaky, but again, the biggest thing being a 16-point battle between Bowman and Priest. Bowman, Priest, and Kyle Busch. If Hocevar doesn't win this race, as there we go, Byron makes that pass. Oh no! Carson Hocevar, flat tire! Flat tire on the 77. No! No! That's not good. That is really not good. Carson Hocevar with a flat tire out of nowhere makes it to pit road. Credit on him for not intentionally spinning it and bringing out a caution, but Hocevar blows a tire and probably blows this race. All right, so there we go. Again, Hocevar in the pits, and that now puts it a 1-point battle between Priest and Kyle Busch for the cut line here. Kyle Busch currently sitting in 9th. Priest back in the back spot here. And no caution. So, yeah, that was a pretty big one here. 16 laps to go, and now it's Byron Larson at the front of the field. Could Ty Gibbs be the one to upset the apple cart here? Now, if Ty Gibbs wins this one, that would be insane. Of course, I would have him in my garage, and I had no reason to have benched Hocevar before now, but he was going to absolutely tank that. Now, let's go ahead and just see how hard that hit my fantasy roster. Yeah, I dropped from 2nd to 7th on that move. Good thing is Hocevar did earn some decent stage points, so he's still earning not terrible points, but of course you never want to see your driver back in 30th place on the track, because there's not a lot of spots to be gained there. So here we go. Denny Hamlin with a pretty big run here. He goes up there. Alright, so here we go. 13 laps to go here. They're working their way through this one pretty well. But again, right now it's going to be Denny Hamlin versus William Byron. Here comes... Oh, Ty Gibbs coming alive here. Ty Gibbs makes the pass on Kyle Larson. So now it's going to be a 3-car battle. Byron, Hamlin, Gibbs. Can Ty Gibbs get it done here at Michigan? As of right now, it's going to be Byron and Hamlin going to be blocking it out. Again, we expect Ty Gibbs will be able to hopefully hold it close, but right now these two drivers are going to be in a dogfight here between Byron and Hamlin. Down the back straightaway, Byron going low, trying to break that draft. Hamlin tries his best to follow smoothly. And there goes Byron to the bottom of the racetrack. Hamlin going to try the top, see if he can roll some of that top. Byron slides up in front of Hamlin. Hamlin off the corner. They do get side by side there for a moment. Big block there by Byron. Again, these two drivers going to be interesting to watch down the stretch as these two drivers going to fight it out for this top spot and the win. Again, right now, Hamlin a little bit further back than he was. He's going to need to build up another attempt here at Byron, and you gotta commit. If you get close to maybe side by side, you need to try and force that issue. I think Hamlin. There's only 11 laps to go. Not a lot of time to try and figure out another angle. So this is the angle at this point. But here we go. 10 laps to go. 10 more times around. Alright, so again, 10 laps to go. 10 more times around. We've got ourselves a pretty good race coming down to the checkers here. 10 laps to go. Byron versus Hamlin. Dueling it out for the top spot here. Again, Ty Gibbs just waiting in the wings. A mere half second back. Again, as Ty Gibbs is going to try and observe as close as he can without being too close here. And here we go. Busch are looking up the inside on Kyle Larson here. Kyle Larson taking some couple of losses here as he's losing some spots, but all he's already got 3 wins on the season. He should be fine on points regardless, but here we go. Alright, so there we go. It's going to be... Looks like Byron is going to have just enough here. 8 laps to go. Still plenty of time for the 11 or the 54, but time is a ticking here as these drivers... Again, Hamlin got to try and figure out some way to get around the 24. 24 goes down the inside, not able to make not able to get alongside him goes the 11. The 11, again, continues to look up a little higher in the corner than the 24. Then the 24 matches him off the corner. And here we go again, blocking down the front straightaway. Man, Byron, if he keeps blocking like that, is going to end up wrecking somebody. Because, again, these aggressive blocks, he's making them work. But, man, is it going to be sketchy here. And I say, Gibbs has backed way off that battle for the second position, so for the lead. So So here we go. 6 laps to go. 6 more times around. We've got ourselves a really good battle going here. Again, Hamlin trying to find any way to get around that 24. The 24 trying to hold him off. 28 feet is the distance between the two. As they are narrowly avoiding each other. Down the back straightaway. Again, the 24 of Byron. The 11 of Hamlin. Working this one. We'll have 5 laps to go at the line next time by. Alright, so come on. Let's see. Ty Gibbs is back to within a second of the leaders here. The question is, 5 laps to go. Will we see a real challenge here? To the bottom of the racetrack goes Hamlin. Alongside the 24. There it is. Challenge for the lead. Denny Hamlin has a nose out ahead. Not able to clear, though. William Byron to the outside. Byron background on the outside. Hamlin deep down the inside. He's going to try and drive it through the corner. as best he can. William Byron and Denny Hamlin, side by side. 4 laps to go. 4 more times around, let's go. We're getting more and more excited. I'm hyped here. Here we go. Ty Gibbs is also closing in on this battle. Now only a third of a second between them, as he's just waiting to see what's going to happen here. Denny Hamlin, William Byron, can they possibly keep this clean for another 3.5 laps as they continue to duel it out? Side drafting, door to door, wheel to wheel. 2 of the best drivers in the entire Cup Series. Denny Hamlin, one of the oldest, and William Byron, one of the younger guys. And there it is. Denny Hamlin clears William Byron for the lead. 3 laps to go. 3 more times around. Here we go. Again, Gibbs is right in the mix. Here comes Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher trying to keep the streak alive for Ford. 9 of the last 10 races at this track have been won by Ford. And Buescher wants to continue to add to that by winning his 2nd Michigan race. And right now, here he comes. Chris Buescher is going to try and get this one. Denny Hamlin, though, he's coming up on 200. He's only going to be coming up on 2 laps to go here. 2 more times around for Denny. Denny Hamlin has 2 laps to go. It is not going to be easy to try and catch him here. Buescher looking up the inside on Byron. If Byron does not let him go on this lap here, there will be no shot for Buescher. Again, that gap is starting to grow. Buescher, I think, has the speed, but he needs to get around the 24 right this instant here. And he needs to hope that Denny misses the bottom of the corner in 1 and 2. There he goes. Buescher gets by him. Byron comes to pit road. William Byron hits pit road. White flag is out. Denny Hamlin to the lead. Denny Hamlin to the race lead. Chris Buescher to 2nd. Ty Gibbs to 3rd. And again, the 24 of William Byron not able to make it to the checkered flag as he has come down pit road. And here it is. Denny Hamlin, 3/4 throttle here for Denny Hamlin. Chris Buescher in the background, 1 second back. Not going to be close enough, barring an issue here for the 11. Off turn number 4, Denny Hamlin in front of the field, and Denny Hamlin will win here at Michigan. Buescher 2nd, 3rd is going to be Ty Gibbs, 4th will be Bubba Wallace, and 5th will be Kyle Larson. Chastain, Zane Smith, Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece, and Brad Keselowski will complete your top 10. Thank you guys. Wow, we got 66 people joined in here at the end. Again, thank you guys for everybody that joined in here. Again, we'll have the full race results here in a minute, but man, congratulations to congratulations to Denny Hamlin. That was a really hard fought race, and yeah, as per usual, we will go through the full finishing order, but if you guys did just come for the finish of the race, that will be the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy the race stream, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. We'll be back next week with at least 2 of the 3 Michigan races, and hopefully some in-person racing at the local dirt track, as I did get my season pass. But again, as per usual, we will go through the full finishing order and give a little bit of post-race. But man, there it is. Denny Hamlin, the dominator there. So there we go. Alright, so there we go. Denny Hamlin going to go down to the bottom, winning in start number 701 for Denny Hamlin. His 701st start, and he is a Cup Series winner past 700 career starts. That is an impressive metric to have hit. Again, thank you guys. Man, we have a lot of people popping in here. There we go. 42 people still hanging out. Again, thank you guys for everybody that just decided to pop in here towards the end of these streams. Again, I very much appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And yeah, here we go. Denny Hamlin driving down the front straight away. I'm going to have to... seems like the NASCAR.com doesn't want to cooperate with the finishing results, so we'll have to go off the phone, but alright, go to full results, yes. Don't care if it looks a little weird. Yeah, it's not going to work, so I guess we'll have to go off the phone, but Again, I like to go ahead and give credit to every single driver because, again, these drivers are doing something that very few people on planet Earth can do, and I certainly can't do it. So, again, Denny Hamlin with an incredible drive, stuck in it all day, manages to get a top finish and picks up his third checkered flag of the season. Chris Buescher's second place, oh so close to continuing the Ford dominance here at the track. Ty Gibbs comes up third. A very strong performance, though, for the young driver, still looking for his first career NASCAR win. But with more runs like today, I don't think that first win is going to be all that far off for Ty Gibbs. Bubba Wallace fourth. He could have had a really good performance if he could have punched the ticket to victory to the playoffs here. Larson, Chastain again. We went through most of the top 10 here. Zane Smith with a really good performance there, back in the front row Motorsports 38. Kyle Busch coming home in 8th. A nice solid performance there for a driver who's going to be trying to point his way into the playoffs. The driver trying to point Kyle Busch out of the playoffs is Ryan Preece, currently the driver just barely inside the cut line. Yeah, as Kyle Busch is on the outside looking in. Then we got Brad Keselowski rounding out your top 10. Eric Jones was a really impressive with a really impressive finish. Comes home 11th, just outside the top 10, but a very impressive day nonetheless for the kid out of Michigan. So, again, the Michigan curse, no Michigan-born drivers ever won this race, and the streak continues today. But good day for Eric Jones. Josh Berry, he picked up his first career win back at the back in Vegas. Got himself a 12th place finish here. Not a bad day. Tyler Reddick, after starting tail into the field due to unapproved adjustments, managed to drive his way through the field a couple of times. Got blocked in on his final pit stop and still drove his way back to 13th. I mean, if Reddick had an ounce of luck, he might have won this race by an entire lap. Daniel Suarez getting ready to head to his home track. He has a solid 14th place finish, but I think he's going to be looking for much more when we go down to the streets of Mexico City next week. Crybaby won again. Yeah, well, hey, again, he drove it out. He earned it, but man, I feel terrible for the William Byron and Carson Hocevar fans. A flat tire and running out of fuel within the final 10 laps of this race. So, definitely had some luck fall his way there. Chase Elliott comes home in the top 15. Hey, good job on Chase Elliott after a slow final pit stop. Put him behind the 8 ball. He performs well enough to get himself a top 15. Christopher Bell, 16th. He was fairly anonymous most of the day. We did mention him popping out of line a couple of times, but never really accomplished much in terms of the actual, getting up to the front. AJ Allmendinger, 17th. 18th is going to be Shane Van Gisbergen. Not a bad oval performance for SVG. And, of course, as we head back to the road course at Mexico City next week, he is going to be another one of those drivers looking to really perform. And he needs, I think, to perform at a top 5 level, if not a race-dominating level, if he wants to try and validate why SVG is even in this car. Again, his oval performances haven't been bad, but I think we take a lot of his oval performances with a grain of salt, knowing that he should have a good shot at the road courses, and if that just ends up not being true, we'll have to wait and see. Austin Dillon comes home in the 19th position, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with a solid top 20. Can't complain about that. Good job, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Justin Haley, 21st. 22nd, Joey Logano. 23rd is where we will find Chase Briscoe. 24th, Ty Dillon. And rounding out the top 25, a guy I don't give a lot of shout-outs to, but good job, Riley Herbst, for a top 25 finish. That car has not been very good this year, and I don't typically think of Riley Herbst as a top-end driver, but hey, he managed to beat about 10 cars on the track today, so good job. Then we got Cody Ware, Noah Gragson, 26th and 27th. 28th for William Byron, rounding out your lead lap finishers after Byron had that very late green flag pit stop for fuel. That final pit stop as he was running out of gas ends up coming home 28th. 29th for Carson Hocevar after his flat tire. He ends up finishing in the 29th position. And rounding out your top 30 will be Michael McDowell, 1 lap off the pace. That one hurts for me to see Michael McDowell coming home 30th. 31st for Austin Cindric. 32nd is going to be where we find Ryan Blaney, 4 laps off the pace. Todd Gilliland, 54 laps shy of the checkered flag in 33rd. John Hunter Nemechek comes home 128 laps shy of the checkered flag in 34th. 35th is where we find Cole Custer, 134 laps shy, and dead last on the field tonight. Say Alex Bowman. Hopefully he's okay. That's one we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, Alex Bowman, 134 laps off the pace in 36th. But yeah, as I know Hamlin is by far not the most popular driver, but and he got stuck in the grass. Yeah, I'm guessing there's been some, again, with all the conversation about the race potentially needing to get moved up, I'm guessing there was some overnight rain that may have caused the grass to be a lot softer than usual, but yeah, that grass can really trap you sometimes, but again, it was a really good race all in all, so again, congratulations to Denny Hamlin and the 11 team for surviving this one, which it was a crazy race down the stretch. Definitely caught some breaks there at the end. Feel terrible for both Hocevar and William Byron to have such bad luck right at the very end. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy the live stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Guys, yeah, it's wet. Yeah, it's wet. Yep. Again, I can only see what I can see, and I hadn't actually heard them mention anything about rain, and we didn't have a caution early, so I didn't know for sure. But yeah. But again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys do enjoy these streams, hit a like button, subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Again, Friday night, I'm hoping to be at the local dirt track for opening night. Then on Saturday and Sunday, we have Mexico City with the Xfinity Series and Cup Series. So look forward to those. I don't know when or if we'll have if we do have a video midweek, it will be it'll probably be some sort of studio tour with the new setup, but again, I can't really say for sure when or if that'll happen this week or if it'll be later next week. So until next time, though, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video. Live stream, whatever you guys had to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night.